Oh, good Wednesday morning to y'all. This is my tropical update for Wednesday, June 30th, 2010. Our first hurricane of the season developed last night. This is Hurricane Alex. This was as of 5 a.m. at 23.3 north, 95.1 west. Movement west-northwest at 7. Maximum sustained winds of 80 miles an hour. Central pressure 961 millibars. It's about 220 miles southeast of Brownsville, Texas. You could see a nice little eye has developed, a small eye, surrounded by nice heavy convection right now. The dry air is totally gone out of this system. You saw this dry slot that we continued to have has that nice protected barrier around this eye, and this thing is going to keep strengthening, and now it looks like we might have a Category 2 at landfall instead of a 1. You know, intensity forecasting is real difficult, and kind of what happened here is that the system slowed down, and by slowing down, it's kind of gaining that strength now. It got that mixed that dry air out of it, and is now a well-developed hurricane. You can see it moving west-northwest, and now starting to take a little bit of a last few hours. At least it's moving now. That's a good thing. But it's taking a little bit more of a little jog to the north a little bit. So my thinking is a little stronger storm now, and it's slowed down enough that it may come north of these forecast points maybe into this area. So that's pretty much still putting Brownsville in play a little bit. I think the core of the strongest hurricane winds will stay south of Brownsville. But they're still going to get some of the surge with this, and now we're still into that 3 to 5 foot surge range a little bit. We were looking like maybe we could sneak below 3 feet, but I don't know. It's looking like we could get into that 3 to 5 foot surge near Brownsville. So flooding's definitely going to be problematic with this system in Brownsville with the heavy rains and some surge. Flooding's going to be the main factor. The heaviest winds, the core of the heaviest winds, will stay south of Brownsville. So flooding's going to be the main concern for them. So we'll see this moving just like this. The official forecast track. I'm thinking it's going to come a little north of these forecast points, something like in this area. Now landfall's looking like it will not happen until late tonight, probably around midnight or so, maybe early morning, very early in the morning on Thursday. And you can see on the water vapor loop a well-developed hurricane right now. Nice outflow. Still not the greatest outflow to the northwest, but outflow is great from the east side, south side, even back to the southwest. Much better outflow now. Dry air looks like it's not a factor anymore, as we have this nice big protective CDO around the eye wall here. Some of the latest model runs here of 6Z this morning. You could see some of the models have slipped a little farther north. So whereas yesterday they were kind of in this range, we're kind of slipped a little northward. That's why I'm thinking landfall is going to come just a little north. Still over northeast Mexico, kind of where we've been pinpointing for the last 5 days. But as of yesterday, where it was speeding up, it looks like it might have been a little weaker when it came a little farther west. Now it's going to sneak up a little farther north here. And here you see some of the latest runs again. The HWRF and the purple, and now the Euro are basically the northernmost models, whereas the GFDL is the most southern model. So, you know, if you split the difference, you would think this, but I'm thinking more HWRF Euro, probably up into this area. This is where this is going to make landfall south of Brownsville, in between that Brownsville-La Pesca area, but just here. Current ships has it 83 miles an hour at landfall. That looks a little weak right now. LGM and ships are around that 85 miles an hour mark to 90. That's what I thought yesterday, but I would boost that up now at landfall, probably get close to a Category 2 hurricane. So I'm looking at in that 95 to 100 mile an hour range at landfall as a Category 2 hurricane. And just showing you the shear maps real quick. Shear, no problem with this system. Center of Alex is right about here. He's right under the upper level high right now, and shear will not be a problem for this storm all the way to landfall. And the reason for the stall, it's kind of in between both of these centers of high pressure. We have our big subtropical high right here, and then we have our high that's moving in from the central plain state right here. It's kind of in that no man's land now. Trough has kind of lifted out a little bit. High pressures are trying to build in, so it kind of hit this area of no man land. This high pressure in the central, yes, didn't build in as quickly as the models thought originally, which would have pushed it a little quicker to the coast. So it's kind of waiting on that really to get built in here to kind of give it that last little kick off to the west. So that's been the reason for the slowdown. And here's the Brownsville radar this morning, and you could see this is going to be where those tropical storm force winds are going to be moving in right here, this first line here that's approaching Brownsville this morning. So there'll probably be some tropical storm force winds in this band right here. So this will be the beginning of the heavier weather for Brownsville, and everything will be going downhill from here this morning for them. So again, you should have made your preparations. You had all day yesterday to make final preparations, and today we're just hunkering down in this area and waiting for Alex to come. So again, here's the official forecast track by the National Hurricane Center. It's bringing Alex. This was as of 5 a.m. On the coast, probably around midnight. Of course, if it sneaks a little farther north, it might be a little later than that, but probably around that midnight time frame. I'm thinking it's going to come probably north here along this. Probably it's going to make landfall just like this, right up in this area right here. Still far enough south from Brownsville that the core of the hurricane winds will stay south, but they're still going to get possibly a few hurricane gusts, and also the surge and flooding are going to be the main factor with this system for the area near Brownsville and South Padre Island, this whole little area right in here. So please still be on guard up in here. Don't let your guard down. Just because this system's slipping south of you doesn't mean that you're out of the woods. You're still going to get a lot of weather with this system. So that's about it, folks. I'll have another update with regards to Hurricane Alex later this afternoon, early evening time. Have a great day.